All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another boys swim meet here that we have tonight on the Center Grove Sports Network. With me, as always, the living legend, Brian Lewis. Brian, how you doing today?
Hey, good evening, Mark, and good evening to everybody else that's out there on this super cold Thursday, the last home meet of the season for the boys, as well as it's going to be the last single meet for the seniors tonight. So
yeah, a good farewell to the seniors against our rival, Franklin Community. Always a good meet, Brian. Definitely a few of these athletes will be matching up against each other here in a couple of weeks when we go to sectional, and then the following weekend when we go to state. Matthew Quadros, Lucas Ackerman, and company or whatnot, getting ready to kind of suit up one more time. We know where we're at in the training cycle, Brian. We just talked to Coach Brad maybe about getting ready to come down the mountain, so to speak, as far as training volumes go, and it should be a real exciting meet tonight.
Yeah, we've got a really great postseason lineup that's coming up here starting next Thursday with the girls sectionals down at Franklin High School, followed by the state meet the next week. And then the week after that, the boys will come back and do their sectional meet, which will be hosted here at the Center Grove Natatorium, followed by their last meet of the season, which will be the high school state meet the weekend after that. So, yeah, to your point, this is a critical time of the year. Had a little bit of challenge with the teams and the health. Had a bunch of kids that got sick last week, and that's definitely on Brad's mind as we're going into this part of the taper. Another challenge, Mark, as you know, you work in the school systems, that we've had a lot of delays and cancellations this week because of the storm on Sunday. So it's definitely put some things up in the air with Brad, and he's really trying to work to make sure that we get the right kids in the right spots. One thing that Brad mentioned tonight is that this is going to be, for this meet tonight, it's going to test his lineup for the sectional meet. Got some underclassmen that are fighting for some really awesome spots.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure Ian Raghavendra, one of the underclassmen that came on, had a really good showing here this season, kind of vying for some of those spots. Some of the upperclassmen, Gabe Argyris and the like, also juniors, getting ready to kind of solidify themselves onto a relay or solidify themselves into the 3 spot. Each team is only allowed 3 individual entries per event, just like a dual meet, but you have 8 teams. And these guys aren't really strangers to the club scene either, so it's like a large invitational. But everybody has the weekend of sectionals circled on that calendar for sure. All the athletes know how important it is. And, over the years, these 2 teams have traded the sectional title back and forth, both on the boys and girls side. So it's always a good matchup whenever we go against Franklin Community.
Yeah, and a little bit of a difference between what the girls are going to have to do to make a presentation or a show up at the state finals versus the boys. Case in point tonight, Brad, like we said earlier, is going to be running his A final setup tonight, with maybe a couple of exceptions for those kids that are trying to punch their ticket into a relay or into the state meet. The girls, on the other hand, are going to have a little bit more competition getting into the state meet. So they're going to be coming in blazing for the sectional meet to get as many swimmers as they can. So again, the girls are really just focusing on that step to get past sectionals and have a big contingency at the state meet. The boys, on the other hand, are going to probably be a little bit more relaxed this year. Last year, if you remember, it was just an all-out dogfight between Center Grove and Franklin, and that really was the big pinnacle of their season. But then the boys came back and had one of the best, not one of the best finish at the high school state meet in program history.
Maybe ever for Center Grove, correct. And I look for that to be almost a repeat this year. That the medley relay that we're going to see tonight, if it is the A relay, I have to think, Brian, is one of the top 3, maybe top 2 relays in the state. We had a little bit of a preview when Bloomington South came in earlier this year. They're one and whatnot when they went head-to-head. And so all season long, that relay has really been very, very strong. The first 2 legs of that relay will be led out by Henry Linus and Matthew Quadros. Both of those young men will probably be top 3, top 2, hopefully maybe number 1 in their event at the state meet. And when you have the champion in both the first 2 legs of the 200 medley relay, boy, it is really hard to compete with that. And the breaststroke being the slowest of the 4 disciplines, that really has to give Center Grove a huge advantage going into that A final. Hopefully, all the pieces come together, all the things that need to happen can happen, everybody stays healthy, all the touches are legal, all the exchanges are legal, and so on and so forth. However, on paper, it looks really, really good.
Yeah, when you look at the field going into state, we know that there's an obvious advantage for who will probably be the state champion for the boys. But that number 2 spot, there's 3 or 4 teams that are vying for that. And,
Absolutely.
And Center Grove's one of them. So this could be their best finish in,
maybe ever.
Again, then doing better than last year, which we ended up with 5th.
Absolutely, and you were a part of so many great teams in the late 90s, and that placed at state and did very well, and that's really saying something to say that it's the best ever in program history. This program's been a very storied program with legendary coach Jim Todd, who retired a couple of years ago, and Brad Smith, who's done just a miraculous job picking right up where he left off. A lot of times when we have a change in coaching like that, and the man is the institution, like Jim Todd was, you have a little bit of slip in that, and boy, Center Grove really has just been able to continue to carry on and produce top tier teams every year.
Yep. So we should be having the anthem here in just a couple minutes. We were talking about the strength and the breadth of this team, and that a lot of that happens when you've got a great feeder team. Starting with our Sharks and Minnows and our swim lessons. We do a lot of this new series called Quest for Gold, where we bring in a lot of parents and the kids that don't know anything about swimming and want to learn about it. And we've really grown the membership of the Center Grove Aquatic Club that way. Recently, that club was awarded the bronze status, which means that they're one of the top 200 clubs, I believe, in the country.
Yep.
And there's certain milestones that you have to do to get that. And part of that is having more swimmers going to junior nationals, more swimmers like we just had. Matthew Quadros qualify for senior nationals, which is unheard of
at 15 years old.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
So great transition to the next topic. We're going to be super excited to have Caitlin Smith join us during the 500 free today.
Yeah.
Going to be promoting the Center Grove Aquatic Club and talking about some of the things they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Tonight is Center Grove Aquatic Club night. We have a whole host of age groupers off to the left of us over there. We'll pan over there maybe here in a little bit. We do have a middle school meet tonight, so some of our people are out at their middle school meet tonight. But to your point, Brian, absolutely unbelievable club supporting this high school program. Caitlin Smith, who will be joining us later, was named Indiana Swimming's Developmental Coach of the Year a couple of years ago. And they just do a really great job of trying not only to develop the athlete, but have fun at the same time, because swimming is a grind, when you're really committed to the program fully. It's a 10 to 11-month commitment, to your year-round training cycle, and they just do a great job of keeping it fresh and fun and whatnot.
I'm sure you heard it in the background, boys getting ready, doing their pre-meet chant, led by one of our seniors, Nikhil Iyer. The spirits seem pretty high down there on deck and looking like they're going to do really well. So here's our on-deck announcer, Craig Linus, which means we'll be doing the national anthem here in just a minute.
And really while we can for just a minute, Brian, you being lumped into this group of people, there's just a group of parents who have been on this deck for about a decade. Craig Linus, one of them. He's been the longtime announcer. Henry, his youngest son, the Arizona State commit or whatnot, and this is his last home meet. And so it's great to send off people like Craig and send off some of these other adults who have just given their life, to this team and this program. So thanks, Craig, for all that you do.
We've got the officials doing just the last-minute tests of the start box, getting everybody in place. We'll probably go on a quick break here until we start the national anthem.
And real quickly, for those of you tuning in at home, Lane 1 is down at the bottom of the screen, and then Lane 10 is at the top. Center Grove tonight will be in lanes, all the odd lanes, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Occasionally they'll sneak into an even lane out on the outside if we have an exhibition swimmer. Franklin Community will be in 2, 4, and 6. And here is our national anthem.
One moment. All right, we'll try this again, ladies and gentlemen. Please remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
All right. Up first in the 200 medley relay for Center Grove in lane 3, Ashranjan Nikhil Iyer, the senior, Jaden Jha, the phenom freshman that's had a really good year in the butterfly, and the aforementioned Ian Raghavendra leading it off or bringing it home in the anchor leg there. For Center Grove in lane 5, Henry Linus leading off, Matthew Quadros breaststroke leg, Anthony Quadros doing the fly, and Cameron Mazdai finishing up on the anchor leg in freestyle. In lane 7, Ruben Popovicu leading off, Brandon O'Leary in 2, Jack Udersal's butterfly, and Moses Black freestyle. Should be a real interesting race, Brian.
Yeah, I think the one thing to watch here on this race is going to be the 50 between Cameron Mazdai and Ian Raghavendra. They're both fighting for a spot in maybe the 200 free relay.
Yeah. All right.
In 4 for Franklin A. in Apney. In 5 for Center Grove A. Mazdai. In 6 for Franklin B.
Really surprising to see Ox taking the lead on the backstroke here.
And it looks like we've got a little different lineup here. Henry Linus not leading off in the middle of the pool there. So we'll have to get the change from the heat sheet there.
Yeah, so we got Matthew Quadros in lane 2, Braylon O'Leary in lane 7, and Nikhil Iyer in lane 2. Or excuse me, lane 3 for Center Grove.
And Quadros regaining the lead for that A relay in the middle. Excellent pullout.
Center Grove at this point going 1-2. Let's see if we can hold on to that. Looking like we're going to be at a 1-3 or 1-2-4 possibly.
Quadros splitting 26-86. Eiler 28-47 down at the bottom. Anthony Quadros in the water for Center Grove A.
Still maintaining that 1-2 place seating and then also 4th. We've got Henry Linus going to be the anchor here.
Quadros splitting 24-15, a pretty decent split for Anthony there. And I think this one's in the bag. Let's keep our eyes down there at the bottom of the screen to see if Ian Raghavendra can close the deal. Excellent breakout, and it looks like Center Grove's going to go 1-2 in this first relay, Brian.
Yeah, Ian doing a really good job of keeping that head buried and almost like he's swimming downhill, splitting a 22-13.
Henry Linus coming in at 21.08. Excellent splits for freestyle relay later for both those guys. So it should be interesting to see where we end up. All right, up next, boys 200 freestyle. In lane 1, Nate Smith from Center Grove. In lane 3, Caleb Heck from Center Grove. In lane 5, Mason Bridges. In lane 7, Moses Weaver. In lane 8, Zach Groninger. And in lane 9, Kyan Wilson. Kind of a stacked 200 here. For Franklin, Noah Barnett in lane 2, Lucas Ackerman, very talented swimmer in lane 4, and Seth Russell in lane 6.
Yeah, our lead seat time is Mason Bridges at a 1:42.64. Ackerman with a no time. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. I mean, we know it's going to be tight.
Ackerman and Quadros will square off later this month both at sectional and at the state meet. Ackerman, a very accomplished swimmer out there in lane 4.
Ackerman out with the early lead here, already about a half a body length ahead, looking really, really good with a strong distance per stroke.
Definitely more of a hop freestyler. You can see that little hesitation and the exaggeration in his stroke, getting a massive amount of distance per stroke.
Too early to count out Mason Bridges at this point. He's a very, very strong swimmer, and it wouldn't surprise me that he has a stronger back half of this race.
I agree. I see his kick is just a little light there, and I think definitely in this third 50 he's going to throw that kick in, and we'll see what he can do there. In third place, out in lane 7, Moses Weaver, and in fourth place, or fighting for fourth place, Caleb Heck out in lane 3.
Yeah, Caleb Heck also a really strong 200 free swimmer, so totally would expect him to have enough time to be able to make up another place here. Ackerman continuing to pull away, now at about 2.5 body lengths in the lead, just now hitting the wall at his 150 meter or yard mark, split at 26:37 with an overall time of 1:15:27. I don't think Mason's going to be able to crawl this one back, but
no, I don't think so either.
We've got a good shot at second and third place.
Yep. I agree, second and third place. Keep your eyes on Weaver there, contending for that third place finish. And Ackerman really motoring now. He may go about 143 here. 39, 40, 41, 42.
Very,
41.
very comfortable 141. Mason going to be coming in at second place at a 147, which he can swim stronger than that. I think he was one of the kids that was not feeling great earlier this week.
Yeah. Yeah, when illness, it's unfortunate. Swim season is right through the middle of cold and flu season. But, it hits your team. Hopefully they recover pretty well. I think that he looked pretty strong there.
So up next is event 3, boys 200-yard IM. We've got Jonathan Calloway for Franklin in 1, Jaden Jaw in lane 3, Oliver Inabnet in 4, Matthew Quadros in lane 5, Eli Demery in 6, Aksh Ranjan in 7, Jack Udrasals in 8, and Nolan Dunblazer in 9.
And for those of you at home who haven't really seen just a boy or a girl meet without the other group there, this moves very quickly. We're about 10 minutes into this telecast, and we're almost to the break here. Matthew Quadros really had a strong season in this event. This is going to be his bread and butter probably at sectional, going to 151 earlier this year, kind of semi-rested at county. Brian, what do you think is obviously breaststroke's his strength, but what else, if you had to pick something other than that, would be his strength in this event?
That's a really good question. I think where I'm going is backstroke.
Yeah.
I believe back when he was younger, he did a lot of backstroke. So far in this race, Jaden is our leader, with Matthew having a pretty comfortable swim at this point. We know he'll take off in the breaststroke, but it might be a bit of a duel here between Jaden and Matthew for this race.
Yeah, and you see Matthew's left hand as he tracks it through the water, grabs a whole lot of water and pulls it down the lane and gives him a slight advantage. He was a very good age group backstroker. And so the middle of this event, backstroke to breaststroke, really is his ability to take the lead and then just hold on or push maybe a little bit more in the freestyle. The middle, I would agree with you, the middle of his 200 IM is super strong.
Oliver and Abnett from Franklin keeping up pretty well. Let's see if Jaden's got enough juice left to be able to take him down. Jonathan Calloway picking up some steam on the breaststroke too, so it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen here for second place. Pretty much, I'm sure we can safely call it that Matthew's going to win this one.
Yes, I think you're right. And it does look like Jaden's getting up there on his hip. We'll see if he can maybe swim him down here with this freestyle leg.
Aksh Ranjan at the top of your screen in lane 7, comfortably in 5th place.
What a great story, Brian. Been swimming less than 24 months and looks super technically sound and really has come out of nowhere, backstroke being his best discipline. And but boy, he's really kind of turning into an IMer this year, right?
Yeah, for sure. And, the one thing I love about Aksh, the kid just loves to swim. I see him a lot of times at the Center Grove Aquatic Club meets, and sometimes he's the only high school that's there, and so he's definitely putting the yards in. Matthew winning this at just over 2 minutes. Oliver and Abnett did a good job in holding on to second place with Jaden in 3rd and then Jonathan Calloway in 4th.
So Center Grove going 1-3-5 in that event. Good enough to win on points, and we are moving on to a exhibition heat of the boys 50-yard freestyle.
Yeah, two heats of this event, which isn't a surprise. Try to get as many swimmers to get us swimming as they can. Looks like we've got all Center Grove swimmers in this consolation heat with Josh Frazier in 3, Moses Black in 4, Jackson Grapple in 5, Griffin Butts in 6, and Sharthik Gashai in 7. While we're swimming this mark, it's probably good to get into our to mention our sponsors this evening. Today's Center Grove Swimming and Diving Meet is being presented by the Matt Green Agency of American Family Insurance. The Matt Green Agency provides insurance for vehicle, property, personal, and commercial. For a free quote, call 317-780-1000. The Matt Green Agency of American Family Insurance is proud to support today's CG Swimming and Diving Meet coverage.
And also tonight, our co-title sponsor is Center Grove Aquatic Club, and this is they always sponsor our last meet of the year as well. And we have a large contingent of age groupers sitting over here making a lot of noise, and parents and the like. And so we appreciate Center Grove Aquatic Club and all that they do, and all their parents really do, to support our club. Brian, you being one of them, I know you do a ton of referee work and whatnot as well, and so we appreciate all those volunteers.
Jackson Grapple, the winner of that heat with a time of 25:30. Jackson really hitting the scene recently. The kid's just growing like crazy. But yeah, a lot of things to expect from him here in the coming years.
All right, up in Heat 2 in Lane 3, Anthony Quadros. Lane 5, Cameron Mazdai. Lane 7, Ian Raghavendra. Lane 8, Nikhil Iyer. And Lane 9, Brandon O'Leary.
Ian Raghavendra
he had
out
his
to
feet
an
on the wall
early lead.
first. Look at that.
Giving Cameron Mazdai a run for his money here. This is what Brad was talking about before the meet. Those two are really fighting it out. Ian going to have the win with a 22:58. Cameron at a 22:79. Cameron's been 20-point already this year, so Good swim for Ian, though.
Nice to have a lot of depth at the freestyle sprint position, the 200 free relay and the 200 medley relay, all requiring a large number of fast freestylers. So really good showing there for Cameron and Ian.
There'll be a short break. So spectators, please.
As you probably heard our announcer Craig Linus mention, we've got a quick break here, so we'll sign off for just a few minutes and be right back.
Bathroom break, go to the refrigerator, get a Coca-Cola or whatever beverage is your favorite, adult or otherwise. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. so in a little bit of bonus coverage here, we're going to cover a little bit of diving. One of the hidden weapons, Brian, I think that the Center Grove boys team has is Dathan Schramm, who will contend to win the diving crown for the boys at state here in a couple weeks, just through a back dive, I believe, with a tuck position, and 9.5. Listen, I've been around a lot of high school swimming, so have you. Very rarely do you see a 9.5 for any dive in high school.
Well, not just with the individual dives, but Dathan has just been amazing everybody from the standpoint that almost every single meet that he's in, he breaks his own record.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. For about 2 years, the man is just a record-breaking machine. Every time he goes out every night, he could break his own previous record.
So reverse dive here. I didn't hear the call. It's going to be a backward 1.5.
And pike.
So I'm going to keep my headphones off to try to hear what the dives are.
7 bingo, buddy.
7.5.
Strong, really strong. He's just very graceful too. You know, he makes it look really easy, which we all know. You don't want me to go onto a diving board. It would be really bad, you know. Like he's very graceful and just very skilled, very impressive.
It's amazing how much core strength you've got to have in order to be a really good diver, and it's not only about your situational awareness and knowing where you are and constantly knowing where the water's at, but obviously a different skill set and a different training routine. So right now we've got a forward 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twist.
Oh my God, I would be so dizzy I wouldn't even know which way is up. You know, unbelievable. Let's watch him here. I'm sure he'll nail it.
So as Mark mentioned a little bit earlier, we don't usually have the opportunity to do coverage on diving, so this is a nice opportunity to give Dathan some overdue recognition as the swimmers are warming down and getting ready for the back half of the session. But here we go with Dathan's next dive. Very, very technical dive. Maybe just a little bit off on the splash in the water, but let's see what the judges come up here.
6.5.
Yeah, 7, 6, 6.5.
Yeah, pretty strong. The degree of difficulty on that dive is a little higher due to having multiple elements in it, and pretty impressive.
But yeah, as you were mentioning earlier, with these sectional meets, for most of our history, the battle's just been on the swimming side of the pool, not really having much of a presence in the diving side. And thank you to that group, and I know they've even started a diving club. I'm not sure if that started with Mia Persecki, but we've definitely seen our diving program expand since Mia was part of the program.
Well, right, too, and I think when we built this new natatorium, we've got our 3-meter springboard and 2 1-meter springboards, and having the versatility and the sack over on the other side of the wall there where they can jump in the pit and work on all the tramp things and whatnot really gives us an advantage training facility-wise.
Yeah, we mentioned our sponsors earlier, and that's what makes a lot of that happen. We've been very very gracious to receive some money to help things with like power towers, which strengthen your distance per stroke and give you that resistance training. And to your mentioning, there's a lot of apparatus that are used so the divers can dive on top of a what do you want to call that? A cushion of some sort. But
holy bananas! I don't even think there was a splash, Brian.
And the scores represent that 9, 8.5.
Wow, 9, 8, 8.5. Again, I've seen a lot of high school diving. None of it, not always great. 9.5s are not. That's just unbelievable. He may get it tonight. He may get his own 5-dive or 6-dive record tonight.
So things are just running a little bit slow here tonight. Don't want to rush Dathan. He's the only diver down there, so they're definitely being aware and giving him some time. Dive number 5.
34D, forward 1.5 somersault, 2 twist free.
Forward 1.5 somersault. Now we're going up to 2.5 or 2 full twists.
2 full twists. Oh my gosh, this will look really cool for those of you at home. Keep your eyes on it. It'll happen fast. A lot of movement, 2 technical elements, and let's see if he can nail it.
All right, second to last dive, forward 2.5 with 2 twists.
1.5 with 2 twists, I think.
Okay, 1.5 with 2 twists. Another amazing dive.
Wow. Wow.
And the judges are responding with a 9, 8.5, 9.
Wow. That was just a great entry. Unbelievable entry. You know, Brian, we're talking about he's got to move forward 1.5 times and move across the other axis 2 times. And just to be able to spot the water and land it with that precision, unbelievably difficult. Very, very special young man there as far as diving ability.
Dathan must know that we're watching because he's given us one heck of a performance tonight.
Well, you're right. We don't usually get a chance to cover diving. I'm really excited that we get to do that. For about 2 years, he's quietly put on quite a show, for the program and really helped the program out. And it's awesome that we get to showcase this tonight. We're getting ready to enter his 6th dive here, and this will be his last dive. Not sure where he's at necessarily points-wise. Usually at the bigger meets, they'll post it up on the board. So we'll just have to wait until they get the whole total here.
405C, inward 2.5 somersault tuck, 3.1.
3.1 degree difficulty, inward 1.5 or whatever. So
yeah, that's a very, very tough dive. Not a lot of height for the number of times he's got to move that body around.
Well, and you never want to smack your face on the board. Diving back or leaning back in towards that board is definitely risky. Tuck position. Thankfully, it's not pike, and we'll see here. 3.1 degree of difficulty.
It's pretty amazing. It was an inward 2.5.
2.5. I'm sorry, 2.5.
6.5. 6.5.
Not getting as good as scores. 6.5, 6.5, 6.
What an impressive, super impressive. Sorry, I cut you off there, Brian. Super impressive there for Dathan Schramm. 3.1 degree of difficulty. Definitely making it happen. We'll have to look at that total score. We'll have to check Meet Mobile here in a few minutes to see where he landed. Sorry about that.
No, all good. We'll definitely, like Mark said, we'll give you guys an update on what that score looked like. From our standpoint, it looked like it was a very, very good performance for him this evening. We will be starting up the back half of our swimming events here just momentarily, starting off with event 6, which is the boys 100-yard butterfly. Our Center Grove Aquatic Club members over here starting up a nice little cheer for the Butterflyers, getting ready to start up here, and it sounds like we've got a little bit of action coming from Franklin as well.
So up in this event, Jaden Jal and Henry Linus and Cameron Mazdai, all three of those guys, very accomplished Butterflyers. It's going to be a really strong lineup. Jaden, more of a 200 Butterflyer, Indiana State age group record holder in that event. 100 fly, maybe a little short for him, to get up and going, but I really look for him. He's contributed big as a freshman, this year. I really look for him to make some noise too this sectional coming up here in the next couple weeks. So keep your eyes on him. He'll be out in lane 3. Seth Russell seated in at 54.04. Not a shabby time, Brian.
No, and if I'm not mistaken, Jaden, our Indiana State record holder in the 200 butterfly?
Yeah, I think for the 13, 14, or 14 and under.
All right, just
Event
had
number 6, boys 100-yard butterfly.
I have to believe that at sectional, Henry Linus is going to be swimming this event. So keep your eyes on him in the middle of the pool. Absolutely excellent swimming and streamlined dolphin kick.
I know we keep on saying it, but just absolutely amazing underwaters with Henry. Jaden Jaw currently in second place there in lane 3. Cameron Mazdai not far behind. And then we've got Nikhil Iyer and Braylon O'Leary up in lanes 8 and 9.
And Henry getting ready to make his last turn. Jaden got a comfortable lead there for second. And Henry, let's see if he gets the max distance there of 15 meters. Middle of the pool there, pretty nice. Great transition there. And Jaden really bringing it on here at the end. Henry going to come in right at around 51.
Touching first in lane 5 from Center Grove.
And Jaden Jaw coming in at 50, let's see, it pops up on the board here, 53.80. So 51.31 for Henry Linus, 53.80 for Jaden Jaw. In third place from Franklin, Braid McCallops at 54.92. And in fifth place, Cameron Mazdai from Center Grove, 104.55.
All right, now we've got 2 heats of the boys 100-yard free. Again, all Center Grove swimmers in this event. You've got Griffin Butts in 2, Josh Frazier in 3, Caleb Frazier in 4, Moses Black in 5, Nolan Dunblazer 6, Sarthak Gashai in 7, and Isaac Rowland in 8.
All right, here we go.
Center Grove and swimming in lane 2, Griffin Butts. In 3, Josh Fraser. In 4, Caleb Fraser. In 5, Moses Black. In 6, Nolan Dunblazer. Lane 7, Sarthak Gashai. And lane 8, Isaac Rowland.
And out there in lane 4 to the early lead,
Caleb Frazier.
Yep. Swimming right next to him, though, Josh Frazier, giving him everything he can handle.
Yeah, anyone's race at this point. Looks like you've got Josh Frazier now in the lead, beating out his brother Caleb. As we go into the final 25. Neck and neck with the Frazier boys.
Yep. Let's see here. Caleb looking to tear it up here. It's going to be real close. And I think Caleb just barely edged him out there.
Caleb Frazier at a time of 1:00.
It's a long car ride home if you don't win. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I agree. Heat 2, you've got Nate Smith in 1, Gabe Argyris in 3, Anthony Quadros in 5, Caleb Heck in 7, and Ethan West in 9.
And again, the aforementioned Lucas Ackerman out in lane 4, going to be a state finalist here in a couple weeks for sure in the breaststroke. Let's see what he can do here in the 100 free. Seated in at 46.45.
Yeah, we should see Quadros and Ackerman really get after it in this event.
Swimming in lane 1 for Center Grove, Nate Smith. In 2 for Franklin, Fred Brower. In 3
Ackerman off to the early lead. Quadros still looking pretty strong. Less than a second off of each other going to that first turn.
Well, you got to remember earlier Ackerman went 141 in the 200 free. Pretty good for a random Thursday night towards the end of the cycle.
And Argyris and Caleb Heck actually holding their own in lanes 3 and 7. Pretty tight pack going after the first 50 here. Ackerman is pulling away about a body length ahead of Quadros, but it's anyone's shot for second place right now.
Ackerman flipping at 75 at 34 seconds. And it looks like our clock is off, so we'll have to get the watch time there. But Ackerman easily winning, 46 seconds. It's back up and running again. Anthony Quadros taking second.
Touching first in lane 4 at a time of 47.42 from Franklin, Lucas Ackerman.
In second place will be Anthony Quadros coming in at 50.64. In third place, in lane 7, Caleb Heck coming in at 51.97.
And we've got the boys 500 free up next. We've got Moses Weaver in 3, Mason Bridges in 5, Zach Grunberger in 7, and Kyan Wilson in 9. As we mentioned, we've got our guest here now just arriving, Caitlin Smith, so I'll be hopping off and let Mark do the interview.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the presence of greatness. Indiana Swimming's Developmental Coach of the Year last year, and Center Grove Aquatic Club's own Caitlin Smith. Caitlin, welcome to the telecast.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, very good. So tell us a little bit about Center Grove Aquatic Club and some of the things that they offer as far as learning to swim and then learning how to competitively swim and then competitively swimming.
Center Grove Aquatic Club is what we like to call a pathway club, where athletes can come in at any point within their swimming journey and be successful all the way through the ending part of their journey, whether they come in not knowing how to swim at all, really wanting to just be here to learn how to be safe in the water, to then learning how to be competitive through the sport of swimming, possibly swimming in college.
Excellent. And you yourself swam for your dad growing up down at Indian Creek. Tell us a little bit about the fun activities, that you guys have harvested or cultured, throughout the years. I know you had your 4 pillars last year. What do you have route for this year?
So we are really honing into USA Swimming's athletic development model, which USA Swimming has worked really hard to develop a criteria-based set of guidelines that allow athletes to track their own progress, that have athlete-friendly language, to allow them to gain ownership and accountability and really take a buy-in to their progression through swimming, whether that's with their nutrition, with their confidence, whether it's with their competence. So we focus as a club-wide all the way through our beginning level of our athletes, all the way to our top level of seniors. Every other week we have an athlete of the cycle. So we hone in on a specific skill. So right now we're working on confidence, and yes, it means confidence, believing in yourself, but it also means, do you have the confidence when something goes wrong? How do you fix that? How do you come out of something that doesn't feel comfortable? So how to be confident being uncomfortable as well. So it's really exciting to see. We put our kids' names on the board. Each of our coaches will talk or write a paragraph about that specific athlete, and then it's shared with their parents, and they get to take home that certificate.
That's excellent. I know I can attest to this, I'm sure. Getting 10-year-olds to try new things that are difficult, like maybe the 200 butterfly, or maybe the 1,000 meters, or maybe the mile if they're 14 years old. Really a great message to send to them to try things, because they may find out that they're amazing at it. I know my daughter, when she went through the program, turned out to be an amazing distance swimmer, but we didn't really think about that till she was about 14 years old. So that's awesome that you guys are doing that with them when they're younger. What other things do you have in store for athletes to participate in besides just swimming? I know you guys do a lot of family activities and you do a lot of team activities.
Yeah, so we are working really hard at building our family base beyond the pool deck. So I think it's important. We have the athletes in the water, but another core part of our program is our parents. So allowing them to have opportunities to be social and engaging, whether it is in the stands, maybe it's off the stands, they're going out to dinner, at an away meet, but allowing them to have opportunities to socialize and grow and make that family bond is crucial. For our athletes off the deck, allowing them to have, even if it's just during our warm-up to swim time, where they're playing, maybe it's a game, and during that game they're doing some type of team or leadership building. Maybe it's getting to know another person's name from a different group. We have a lot of times where our high school kids or our challenge kids are working with our younger groups. We've also had our younger kids go and say, hey, I noticed your head's a little too high, to our high school kids. And it really,
I'm sure they love that.
Yeah, it's really like, oh, shoot, people are watching me. So it really helps build a wraparound community and feel where all of our athletes are seeing the investments that they have in other areas.
Well, that's awesome. I know we use the word swim family a lot, and you are here a lot. Like for your highest level of athlete, it's a 48-week training cycle. You're here 2 times a day, and you really do. This becomes your home away from home. I'm not sure. I'm sure you and your dad maybe have a bed where you sleep sometimes and catch a nap. I don't know, a futon or something. I know you guys are here all the time. And so we appreciate you, and we appreciate all the effort you guys put into the community and put into this program. And obviously the program's still top-notch. Brian mentioned earlier it's a bronze-level program. Can you describe a little bit what that's about?
Absolutely. So USA Swimming has a recognition program where the top 200 clubs are recognized by USA Swimming because of certain aspects or levels of achievement. So We, for the first time ever in Center Grove Aquatic Club history, we have achieved bronze level status. So that really has a big part to do with our senior program. We've talked about, as an age group or as a 10-year-old, how do you get them to buy into something that's bigger than themselves, especially at age 9, at age 10. And we've talked to our kids about being a bronze level club and what does that mean for an age grouper. Well, that means cheering for your high schoolers, allowing them to have maybe 2 extra lanes in practice or practice a little bit longer, or supporting them in some other way because they want to be the best as a leader. But then also nights like tonight where we're here and we're watching them, it's almost like they get to put on a show and they get to have that exciting moment of they know that their fan base is watching them.
Well, everybody wants to be a rock star, right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Caitlin, thank you very much for joining us. And if anybody wants any information about Center Grove Aquatic Club, where can they find it?
Head to our website. There's a Contact Us button. You can email any email on that website, and they'll get you directed to the right spot.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Caitlin.
Thank you.
All right, and at the conclusion of the 500-yard freestyle, Oliver Nabbit for Center Franklin coming in at 4:51.58. Mason Bridges for Center Grove finishing second at 4:56.77. And finishing third, Kyan Wilson out in lane 9, 5:03.52. Brian, a real exciting 500 freestyle, and great to have Center Grove as a title sponsor tonight for our telecast. Up next, we have the event number 9.
It's the 200-yard free relay. We've got Center Grove in lanes 3, 5, 7, and 8, and Center Grove in lane 4. For the A relay, we've got Anthony Quadros, Mason Bridges, who just got out of the pool on the 500, Ian Raghavendra, and then Cameron Mazdai.
What a vicious double. The 500 free, 200 free relay.
Yeah, Lucas Ackerman coming into the wall first for Franklin's relay with split time's already gone, but Franklin has got a pretty good lead at this point. But you've got Nikhil Iyer coming in hot down here in lane 3.
Well, Ackerman also just getting out of the water earlier, too, swimming not too long ago. And so we're reeling him in here, Brian. We're reeling him in. Let's see what this third leg looks like.
For the third leg, you've got Caleb Heck in lane 3, Ian Raghavendra in 5, and Jack Udrasal is up in lane 8.
Here we go. Watch the turn in lane 2. And we're back within a body length lead. Anchor leg coming up, Brian.
Got Cameron Mazdai in lane 5. And then Moses Weaver, who also just got out of the 500 down here in lane 3. And the anchor.
Weaver taking the turnover rate. Watch Mazdai. Here he comes.
Mazdai shoulder to shoulder.
Got him.
Looks
Here
like
he goes.
he's going to take this back.
His turnover rate's
we
better.
We could go 1-2 in this, Mark.
Here it goes. I can't believe they pulled this out. 1-2.
1-2. What a comeback.
What a turn of events. Wow. Definitely half a body length lead to a body length lead down. Cameron Mazdai turning on the Jets. Splitting out at 22-13. What a great split for Cameron there.
Yeah, that was an amazing back half of that race. I mean, it literally came down to the last 25. The two Center Grove relays, less than or just over 0.2 of a second apart from each other.
Well, they just came off that wall off that third turn, and boy, oh boy, you could just see it.
All right, up next is the boys' 100-yard backstroke. For Center Grove, you've got Aksh Ranjan in 3, Henry Linus in 5, Ian Raghavendra in 7, Ruben Papadichu in 8, Caleb Frazier in 9, and Ethan West in lane 10.
All right, and out in the middle of the pool, Henry Linus, who's going to be a contender to win the state title in this event here in a couple of weeks. Out to the very big lead here early.
Going to come in right around 25 seconds on that 25.54 with Jaden Rowland on his heels at 27.98.
And here comes Henry off this last turn. He's going to flip it about 38 or so. And out to the middle of the pool in 45, and this is a foregone conclusion. 52.
First in lane 5 for Center Grove, Henry Linus in the winning time of
52.88 for the senior. That'll be the last time he swims at home here. Ashranjan, 59.54. Ian Raghavendra, again, we've said that name a lot tonight, in fourth, 102.67.
And for our last individual event this evening, it's event 11, the boys 100-yard breaststroke. We've got Nikhil Iyer in lane 3, Matthew Quadros in 5, Gabe Argyris in 7, Braylon O'Leary in 8, and Jackson Grapple in 9. Our clear favorite based on seed time is going to be Matthew Quadros, but when you look at the rest of the field, it's going to be pretty tight between Nikhil Iyer, Jonathan Calloway from Franklin, and Gabe Argyris from Center Grove in lane 7.
Yeah, and Braylon O'Leary been making a lot of noise this year too in the 100 breaststroke, seated in at 105. All of them kind of bunched up there.
Matthew first to the wall, hitting the ground, a mid-12 second mark, getting a very comfortable lead going into this first 50. Nikhil is down there fighting our only Franklin swimmer, Jonathan Calloway, in lanes 3 and 4. And we've also got a battle up in lanes 7 and 8 between Gabe Argyris and Braylon O'Leary.
Matthew Quadros out in 27.7. Nikhil Iyer out in 31.1.
And Nikhil's going to have to really get after it if he's going to get this lead back for second place.
And Matthew Quadros finishing up here with about a 3 body length lead. Nikhil Iyer and O'Leary and Argyris all fighting for that third place.
Matthew hit the wall at right around 59 seconds. Jonathan Calloway coming in second for Franklin. Third place going to Braylon O'Leary. That's a surprise. Way up there in lane 8. Way to go, Braylon.
107.13. Nikhil Iyer, 107.17. And Gabe Argyris, 108.69. Wow. All those guys underclassmen, not seniors or whatnot, and next year looks pretty good for the breaststroke for that group of people.
The final event this evening is the boys' 400-yard free relay. You've got Franklin in lanes 2 and 4, Center Grove in 3, 5, and 6. Center Grove A consisting of Mason Bridges, Moses Weaver, Henry Linus, and Matthew Quadros. Center Grove B, Jaden Ja, Caleb Heck, Gabe Argyris, and Zach Groniger. And Center Grove C, Kyan Wilson, Ethan West, Ruben Popovicu, and Aksharanjan.
All right, Ackerman leading off for Franklin. He's had a stellar night tonight. 200 free, 100 free, 200 free relay, 400 free relay.
Yeah, Ackerman's been looking really, really strong. It's going to be pretty crazy to see what he's going to do in this championship season. Probably not going to taper for sectionals, but...
not if you're under the standard already, right? 141 on a random Thursday night in that 200 free is very impressive. I do really wonder, obviously the 100 breaststroke is going to be one of the events he chooses. I am curious what he's going to choose for the second event.
I mean, as strong as that 200 free was.
Yep. You could also say the 100 free coming in at 45 as well. A 43 or 42 definitely would challenge for any sort of state title.
Ackerman giving Franklin a comfortable lead. Moses Weaver in the water second for Center Grove A. Excuse me, that's Mason Bridges. And then down in lane 3, Nikhil Iyer. Which is Caleb Heck. Caleb Heck in lane 3. Franklin still in the lead as we finish the first 50 of the second leg.
And Heck bringing it back here. He's on his feet. Can this relay reel in that huge lead Ackerman gave them to start the relay? You got Henry Linus coming up in the next leg, Brian. I think it's time to put get your popcorn out and watch the show.
Yeah, I'm hoping we're going to get a repeat of that 200 free relay because Franklin was in the lead all the way into the last lap.
Henry Linus is going to have to make up about a 2-second deficit. Pretty good off the wall here. Let's see.
Looks like we got half of that deficit right where the underwaters. Looking really strong into the wall.
Boy, it's nice to be a good turner, isn't it?
I mean, the one thing that always impresses me is you see more and more kids these days that are just kicking like crazy all the way in the wall. until they can't touch water anymore. I mean, I hate to admit it, but I was a coaster into the wall.
I was too. Especially at the end of 2 hours, right? You're like, yeah. And here he goes. He's got it. He's got the lead.
Yeah.
And now he's gained the lead. There we go. Henry Linus getting it done. It's going to be close, though, I think, Brian.
Yeah, our anchor swimmers are going to be Matthew Quadros and Noah Barnett. For Center Grove, the anchor up in Center Grove B is going to be Zach Groniger in lane 3, and then Aksharanjan up in lane 6.
And Matthew Quadros now putting some distance between himself and the Franklin relay. Henry Linus getting it done, making up all the difference there in the lead, and it looks like this is going to be a good final swim here for the boys.
Matthew's looking really strong, coming in at 22.87.
He just got out of the water and swam the breaststroke like 3 minutes ago, right?
Yeah, he's looking really, really good. Center Grove now at probably a 2 body length lead. The fight is going to be for third place, it looks like. Center Grove finishing right at a 3:21, seated at a 3:22, so second improvement on the sea time.
And keep your eyes on lane 2 and lane 6. They're going to be duking it out here.
Yeah, Franklin A finishing with a comfortable second place.
Center Grove B finishing third, 3:34.22.
Like we mentioned, all the best to the girls that are entering their competition or their championship competition starting next Thursday. Prelims on Thursday night and finals on Saturday. Again, that will be held at Franklin Community High School.
A lot of exciting athletes participating. Savannah Yonke in the 500, I think, will make a lot of noise as a freshman. The Matern sisters also competing together probably for the last time. Avery being the younger of the two, and Addie being a senior and getting ready to go to Ball State next year as to swim in their program or whatnot. So it should be a great time. Come on out to Franklin Community to watch the girls swim.
Yeah, once again, thank you to our sponsor this evening, the Center Grove Aquatic Club, as well as our volunteers. We had Greg Ward and Bev Addis as our officials this evening. They've probably got every bit of 40 years of officiating between the two of them. And then, again, great to see our high school girls down there timing for us this evening. So, as they say, it takes a village, and we've got
absolutely. We got a great village.
Yeah, we've got volunteers from many different aspects tonight. So,
yeah. Big shout out to the coaches as well: Brad Smith, Jason Height, Coach Tony. I see down there. Coach Tim has been walking in and out here throughout the meets and whatnot through the year. Through the years, been here forever. They do just such a fantastic job. Right now, as we finish up, we want to read our title sponsor for tonight, the Matt Green Agency. Provides insurance for vehicle, property, personal, commercial. For a free quote, call 317-780-1000. The Matt Green Agency of American Family Insurance is proud to support today's Center Grove Swimming and Diving meet coverage. Brian, when is our next meet?
It'll be sectionals for the boys.
It will be boys sectionals.
So we're going to lose our voices, I can promise you that.
Listen, this place is always electric. If you get a chance and you haven't seen a boys sectional meet, come on down to Center Grove and check it out. This place will be packed. The stands will be shaken, not figuratively, but literally, and it's just a great time.
Yeah, one last congrats to our seniors tonight. This concludes their regular season. We've got a lot of amazing boys that are be heading off to their futures coming up, and no better way to do that than another undefeated season.
Absolutely.
So expecting some great things and hoping for a top 5 finish at state again this year. So
yeah, absolutely. Maybe definitely another sectional crown. Until next time, Brian, I'm Mark Madden.
I'm Brian Lewis.
And we'll see you then.
Thank you.